Are you struggling with your homework? Do you have problems with doing your homework? Myself, I had really big struggles with that, and now I like to share that it's probably about 30 years later that I got really interested in study myself and learn things and dive deeper into things. But so that was about 30 years that I really, as soon as I had to study something, I put a red cross through it. I didn't want it. So um, yeah, I want to share some stories of Matrix Reimprinting and EFT, and I was thinking where to start. And my story starts with that I didn't want to do homework. That's one of the big things, and it was big because I didn't want to do that. And as a consequence, we had this secondary school study. I didn't do anything, and I at the first year they judge more or less in the first year of this school. They evaluate if you will go to the, let's say, the more practical branch or the more how do you call this, the more I didn't study that, the more brain part, but the more sophisticated studies anyway, and to prepare for university. So, and then there was a level in between, and they said like, okay, this boy, he can easily go to this second or even third level of that we offer, but he didn't do anything, and he has so low marks that he can't go with those marks to those other levels. So he has to go to this lower level, and I didn't care. So I went to this lower level. I had to go to school. I didn't want to go to school. Later, after this, I will get to why I didn't want to go to school. But first of all, it was important. What I remember is to share with you that I didn't want to do homework, and as soon as I came out of school, I went to do other things. I was working on a farm, helping as a volunteer on a farm, and in the weekends I went out in nature with friends, and during weekdays I was preparing for that or making little reports on that. But I didn't do the thing that was called homework. I managed to do in the classes. I was sitting down and looking or to the books before the question was asked by the teacher, or I was looking to the for the answers to the other fellow students. And I was sitting in the back of the class. I didn't want to be. I wasn't interested to be there in the school. Big thing. Didn't want to be in the school. And yeah. So what consequent was that when I came in year number 4, I could go to the next school. But they said, okay, with this level, what you have, you can do only a practical school, and it was far away. I wanted to do nature school, and it was far away, so I didn't. My parents didn't allow me to go there, so I was a bit disappointed there, and I had to go then to the next level so that I could stay longer living with my parents and prepare for a higher level green school and be a little bit older. So again, then as it was a shift from one type of school to the other, I had to repeat the same level. So I was the second year in the fourth class, as we call it, and I didn't do anything. And this level was indeed a bit more higher, and my brain wasn't prepared for those things. I didn't, and without paying any attention, I couldn't pass the exams enough. So at the end of the year, they said you have to repeat the school year, or you have to leave. So leaving would mean starting to work, and I didn't want to work in something that wasn't green, so I stayed. But that meant year number 3 in class number 4. That was fine. I finished the fourth and I finished the fifth without doing really anything. And then I went to study on the, yeah, nowadays it's belongs to the university, but it's like a bachelor of science study, and then for nature and landscape. And there I didn't do too much either. I studied what I wanted to study, the plants, the ecology, and all the green parts, but all the other things I didn't really dive into, and all the classes that I wasn't obligated to be in there, I didn't go. It was I wasn't I was learning a lot about nature, going outside in nature, and I was learning a lot about myself. But so I was not very good student. So why this now I like to share this because some years ago I realized like shit, now I do like to study. I like to study. I love to learn more about things and to dive into that. It's incredible what happened. Why now I can? Why do I like it? And what has happened is one of the things with Matrix Reimprinting, one of the first even things I did in the first year probably, it was that I came to such an event where with my father, that with not with my father, but that I had to do homework in the primary school. We had the primary school, which I wasn't happy in. I will come back. I was happy to a certain point, I think, but that is I, at the moment I wasn't happy anymore. But anyway, there was we used to have the Wednesdays afternoons we were free. So that was in the Netherlands. We had to go to the school in the morning and in the afternoon. But on Wednesday afternoon we were free. And then when we came to the four last class, so when I was 10, 11, about 11 years old, I think, then they told that my parents also in the school also insisted that I would do the homework, and I said, but I don't want to do the homework because they put it and they put the, like tests. They put tests, I think maybe even, I think so. They put test on the first day, so they put it after the free day, and I thought it was not fair that they put it on the day, the only day that we can be playing outside, and they put homeworks for the next day, even though it was maybe no test, but there were also tests, I think. So as I didn't do too much of that, then the teachers were not so happy with my results, I think. And I don't know what happened, but what was the motivation? But I remember that my dad, he said, you have to do the homework. He let me free very much, but now I had to sit down. And I said, it's not fair, I don't want to do that. And he said, yeah, but your sister, she was 2 years older, and she went already to the secondary school. And in the secondary school, they had to do homework every day. I said, what? I'm not going to do that. I don't want that, I don't want to have homework. I just, and then you had to go to school much later even. I said, that's not for me. I didn't want it. And I got really in a defense position, and my dad really got angry, and he obligated me to do the homework. And I remember I was crying and trying to do that, and I was really feeling very bad. And so when I was with Matrix Reimprinting, I went to this event, and of course, as an adult, I could explain, I understand you want to play outside, so, and anyway, this all these things you have to learn, you will never remember, you will not even use it. It was about history, and interestingly, I am now more interested in history than at that time. But so I really didn't care about all those names of people that used to live and they are not there anymore, and then you have to know the date and everything. It wasn't for me. So I was with Matrix Reimprinting going to that event and helping this little boy to find out how to do that and how to solve this tension that he had with his dad. And his dad, of course, I don't remember what we did, but for sure I was in the end very happy with my dad there, and for sure he let me go out to play and forget about these tests the next day. That anyway I would pass them or not, and that's it. Um, but so with Matrix Reimprinting, this was a very big event, and I think when we have solved that, for me, this big struggle with going to the do the homeworks, then that probably changed why I was all of a sudden more interested to learn new things and do homework even. Yeah. So this is for you if you really, and for your parents especially, if you, yeah, if you don't want to do your homework, I'm quite sure there's more important things that you need to do. So I think it's very good to have a look why you have so much resistance there, and what it is, because life can be a lot more beautiful if you can enjoy it. And for the parents, of course, you can force and obligate your kids to do the homework, but there's a reason why he doesn't want to do it, or she, and let's see what's behind that.